So yeah, in today's game, I thought Tyler Marsh, like Caitlin Clark had one of her better games. I actually thought Tyler Marsh did a really good job on defense today. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about how they kind of guarded Caitlin in this scenario. And I did feel like Tyler Marsh, given the fact that he does employ Camila Cardoso, I think he did a pretty good job because it's difficult to employ Camila and stop Caitlin. It really is. And I think this is probably the best job any Sky team has done in the Camila Cardoso era. So in these scenarios here where Caitlin is, they kind of played a bit of flat hedge with Camila. So like if Aaliyah's come up for the screen, in these situations, kind of Camilla's dropping to like here, and Caitlin's kind of coming off. They're fighting over and trying to get back. I do feel, but like they didn't run much pick and roll, the Fever, in any way. So basically, what they did was, whether it was Dejanay, whether it was JC, whether it was Hawkes, so a lot of the Fever's offenses start off with some form of Caitlin to Aaliyah pitch pass. Caitlin comes down, screens for Kelsey Mitchell, and then kind of cuts down and then gets another pin down and comes off this. In all of these scenarios, Caitlin Clark was denied. They went like full denial on Caitlin Clark. They kind of dared Caitlin Clark to cut to the basket. And Caitlin Clark got zero. Like zero, like open cuts. So they went full denial with Caitlin off the ball. Assuming that, look, if she is going to beat us, she needs the ball to beat us. And at the same time, this is basically what they did in a lot of scenarios. So, saying she's suspended, I'm going to change the title. Wanted to suspend. Apologies. It was true at the time of posting. But so basically what they were trying to do was to get Caitlin into the paint. And what they were doing with Caitlin in the paint was they were putting body. They were collapsing hard on Caitlin in the paint. And what they were trying to stop was Caitlin getting into here and reverse pivoting. So if you've got three bodies and one body here, Caitlin can't just catch it and reverse pivot and kick. So they were trying to funnel Caitlin into those turnovers. And what it did was it generated an awful lot of wide open KK. Like wide open KK layups. Wide open skip passes to Kelsey Mitchell. Wide open getting it to Kelsey Mitchell here. Wide open getting to Aaliyah here. What they wanted to do was they wanted to stop the easy outlet to here. This player covers that. The easy kick out to here or the easy kick out to here. They wanted Caitlin to throw difficult pass. Or if a player cut through, they live with it. They live with that scenario. When Camila wasn't on the floor, when Caitlin was coming off some ball screens going towards this way, they blitzed hard. Like they blitzed real hard. And not only did they blitz hard, when Caitlin got to this scenario, this position here, when she got to the wing, they went into trap. So in a lot of scenarios, they kind of go into flat hedge, and it's just kind of a flat hedge. The Chicago Sky actually went into full trap mode to not allow Caitlin Clark to get the ball back to here. There's a couple of times where, especially there was one in the second quarter, when Raven was on the floor, where Caitlin comes off a screen this way. I can't remember who said. I think it might have been MAJ. Someone set a screen here, and Caitlin goes to here, and Raven's standing here. So Caitlin goes and gets the ball to here, and she's being full trapped off the screen. And it wasn't there. The trap was here off the sideline and here. But because Raven Johnson was clueless as to what's going on, so MHA I think got to here. She turned it over at this stage. MHA is here. So Raven, what she should be doing is, because the area for her to break the pressure is out here, Raven Johnson was just clueless as to what's going on and standing in the opposite wing. Should have been darting towards here. Caitlin turns it over to get two buckets. So what they were kind of doing on a lot of these scenarios, they were trying to trap Caitlin in this scenario here, where she can't throw the pass to here, she can't throw the pass to here because there's players, and hoping and praying that the Fever players don't get to this position here where Caitlin can just throw an easy outlet. But what they were giving up in that scenario was wide open layups. Like KK just trailing, wide open. KK cutting, wide open. If at any stage Caitlin is able to beat this trap when they were running it, it was wide open. They tried to funnel bodies at Caitlin. They really did. They tried to use their hands. They tried to get some steals. They tried to funnel Caitlin into turnovers. When Caitlin had the ball, it seemed like they were willing to let Caitlin almost not do what she wanted, but it's like, we're okay with Caitlin getting 15 assists if she gets 7 or 8 turnovers. And I feel like the tactic worked in certain lineups and it really didn't work in other lineups. So I felt like that tactic really, really worked when it was Caitlin, Raven, MHA, Mo Billings, and Sophie. Like, because you don't have Aaliyah or Kelsey as bailout passes. You don't have KK as a hard roller to the basket where you can throw it high and KK's athleticism is going to get it. You don't have a screen or someone who's a threat in the pick and pop. So Caitlin can just go one screen and just launch it over. Throw the kind of lob pass to Aaliyah Boston with Maisha Hines-Allen. So I felt like in this specific game, in that lineup, what they did worked perfectly. And I do think the Caitlin by herself lineup, what the Sky did in a lot of scenarios where we're just holding traps and the only pass out of it really being here might actually be something that teams might start to look at, because the blitzes don't work. But it is one of those difficult things where it's like, if you're holding a trap, and it doesn't work out, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. If you hold a trap, it better work. So, like, in terms of the timing, like, I do feel in general like the Indiana Fever have I think they've been okay. Like, they've been okay with with getting Caitlin in the right lineups, and I just thought that those lineups were very poor today. The MAJ, Mo Billings, Sophie lineup was horrific, and I felt like there was quite a bit of Raven problem as well there. But yeah, it's a really tough one to do. Like, stopping Caitlin Clark, like, we've seen Cheryl Reeve do it differently. We've seen so many teams guard Caitlin in a different way. And it really is about, especially when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she's not one of these steady players. She's not a player that's a Paige Bueckers, who most scenarios is just going to be steady. She's not safe. And as a coach, your job is, because if Caitlin Clark's able to take over a game, you lose. Like, you lose. Every single coach knows that in this league. And it is now a case whether it's like, okay, what the fuck do we do with Caitlin? Like, do we over-respect her? Do we blitz her? Do we try to force into turnovers? Do we try and make her a scorer? Do we try and make her a pure passer? Every single team has a different way of guarding Caitlin. They guard Caitlin different ways in every single time. And it was an interesting way, because I'd never seen Caitlin Clark be funneled into, be almost collapsed on and funneled into the paint. And if nothing else, like, we saw Kate at one stage, Caitlin generated 8 wide open layups and 7 of them went in. So, like, they weren't really guarding. Like, should we get open layups? But anyway, yeah, that is the video. I will see you guys. I'm going to bed.